So, hey Gemini, my name is Chris, and this is your beautiful reading for fall and winter 2026. Pretty much the rest of 2026. I'm doing the Celtic Cross, and the center of your Celtic Cross is the Queen of Swords and the Page of Pentacles. So you got everything you need to focus all of your attention on kind of freeing yourself, right? So you get laser focus on your own transformation, on your own freedom, and you got everything you need, all the capabilities, all the support from the universe. Foundation is the Sun card, beautiful. Your little seedlings that you have already planted, take good care of them, nurture them. It's a project, it's something that you have started, and it's going to bring you joy and happiness while you're doing it, the Sun card, and it frees you, and you get everything you need to make it real. It is an expression of your inner light. You got the Hermit in the recent past, following your own light, and the Hermit is this energy following his own light through what sometimes appears to be the dark night of the soul, right? So the Hermit is... he got this little light, this little lantern, how do you say this? Because it's mighty dark around him. So you're probably coming from some sort of dark night of the soul, but you had no other light but your own to orient yourself. But now it's a brand new day. That's the foundation here with the Sun card. And all of your efforts, right? You already planted your seeds in the dark night of the soul, and now it's time to make them real. You're still laser focused on what you want, but you already laid the foundation for your new project, your new life, which is kind of what we do in 2026 for pretty much the next 19 years, actually, which is Pluto in Aquarius, right? You're making it real. The Magician is here. And you showing up as the Page of Wands. Jolly good fellow, right? There is just, you're just done with this darker stuff, right? Dark night of the soul energies. You're just moving on from something, and you're very enthusiastic. And as I said, you planted your seeds, you got everything you need. Support from the universe, just keep going, and you're really making it real, right? But this also means willpower, and it also means that you state your truths. You say what you want, what you don't want. You don't need to explain yourself all the freaking time, but you certainly have to be assertive, right? So you just you show up for your little pentacles that you planted here, for your little seedlings. Show up, do the work. There is self-discipline interwoven with this, definitively with the Queen of Swords. And, you know, the Magician also, right? Showing up, doing the work. So incremental steps, one step at a time. There's success. Trust your intuition when it comes to other people. Superpower couple, right? There's willpower and there's intuition. You need both. You need willpower to make something out of your projects, to execute your plan, right? And this shows up with the High Priestess in the outside position. So especially when you dealing with other people, make sure that you trust your emotions. Make sure that you trust your intuitions. Does it feel good? How is your energy level developing? Do you feel depleted after you've spent time with certain people, right? That's always a good indicator that they are not the right people for you. Little overthinking energy with the Nine of Swords, but it ends with the Ten of Pentacles. Ace of Cups, beautiful. The Sun card, the Ace of Cups. You're loving yourself, you're respecting yourself, you're doing this to free yourself, to embody, manifest the highest expression of yourself. So you get the Seven of Pentacles as the crown, right? This is what you want, and this is how it manifests, right? Seven of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. That looks pretty good. So all of your little seedlings, all of your efforts, they will fall on fertile ground. don't let anybody into your life where your intuition, where your heart is saying no. It's a gut feeling. Trust these gut feelings, especially when it comes to people. And everything else, you have your plan, you execute your plan, you already did the initial stages, you already set the stage for your success. Now you just have to show up for it. You just have to maintain your plan, laser focus on what you want, and then you do it. You show up for it on a daily basis. Put in the work. There's discipline in that, right? And you got everything you need with the Page of Pentacles, and the Sun card is out. So the dark night of the soul is over. Now it's a brand new day. Now you manifest what you really want and what is important for you. And it is an expression of self-love. There's the Ace of Cups, underlying frequency. Whenever you're in that funk of overthinking, sleepless nights, and literally if you're standing, laying in bed, whatever, and you cannot sleep, you do that, what you do on a freaking daily basis anyway, which is breathwork and meditation. If you've never done it, 5 minutes each, breathwork and meditation, 10 seconds in, 20 seconds out, 7 seconds in, 14 seconds out. Doesn't matter how long you do it, but the in-breath needs to be 1 and the out-breath needs to be 2. So in relation to each other, right? So the out-breath 2 times that of the in-breath. That's how you release negativity. If you are indeed sitting in bed, you can't sleep, you get up, you do breath work. 1 in, 2 out. Do that for 5 minutes, do that for half an hour, right? And combine that with meditation. If you do that, you're cultivating your mind, you're cultivating your intuition, listening to yourself, standing yourself, working with your subconsciousness. That is what you need for intuition. That is the high priestess aspect of it. Meditation, right? Mindfulness, cultivation of mindfulness. And then willpower, endurance through that breath work, negative breathing, 1 in, 2 out. Whenever that comes along, that's the only indication for, the only obstacle, so to speak, is self-made in your head. But the Nine of Swords is also a kind of mindfuck energy where somebody might try to lower your frequency to questions like, who do you think you are? Are you sure you can make your little 7 of Pentacles into a 10 of Pentacles? Yes, you are. You're showing up for it every freaking day. You stabilize your consciousness and your willpower through breathwork and meditation. It's a daily freaking practice for your consciousness, right? So you really do that on a freaking daily basis. You're passionate about that with the Ace of Wands. Showing up 1 step at a time, that brings you victory. There's consistency, there's discipline. Yeah, and you're just going for it, right? The Sun card with the Knight of Swords. Your little seedlings, they mean something to you, probably connected to self-love, to the highest expression of yourself. Not just, it's not just, there's a lot of Swords energy with the Queen of Swords, especially in the center here, but it's not just rational, it is something that makes you feel good. It is just your 7 of Pentacles that you're turning into that 10 of Pentacles. They mean something to you, and they might have been in your dark night of the soul. You might have pursued something else and kind of push that aside, but now it's time to come back to that, which is emotionally, and when it comes to your intuition, meaningful to you while you're doing it. So it brings you joy and happiness while you're doing it. Page of Pentacles a second time, this time is clarifying the Hermit. Yeah, don't get distracted by naysayers. You got this, you just show up for your Pentacles, you do it on a daily basis, nobody can stop you. And there are people who might want to drag you back behind the fence, with the cattle, right? Or down into the mud with the pigs, as I always say. They want to distract you through drama, through conflict, right? To questioning yourself, putting you into this frequency. You don't do that. You have to trust your intuition when it comes to other people. If they lower your frequency, they are not the right people. If you have a friend is always allowing you to be yourself, unapologetically. And this is actually asking you to do that, not so much intellectually with what they are saying, but actually making space for the true version of yourself. That is a friend. Just allowing you to shine and be who you truly are, not performative, not presenting yourself in this way or that way, not just agreeing with someone, just be yourself. And if there are people who always question you, who always, questioning people is not the problem, but do they try to drag you down in frequency? You don't need these people in your life. So there's the 9 of, Don't worry about, you might still process this dark night of the soul, maybe the last 9 or 10 years, maybe since 2008 even. You're manifesting your 10 of Pentacles by not losing the connection to your subconsciousness. There's the Ace of Cups, bottom of the clarifier deck is the High Priestess again, your intuition, fire and water, right? Your intuition, your subconscious frequency and your conscious frequency come together. But I feel like you're coming from that dark night of the soul where you kind of explored your subconsciousness and sorted out what belongs to me, where are my shadow aspects, and now you know who you are, and it's a brand new day, Sun card. High Priestess would be more moonish energy, but you need both. But now it's the time, probably in the next 19 years, to take action on your plans. You know what you want internally. And now you honor that by expressing it in the world. 10 of Pentacles is here. It's a choice. Okay. Number 18. Number 18. An important decision is to be made, and you are worried that you might make the wrong one. There are several choices, but none offer you a guarantee, which is the right one. The truth is there are no right options. This is not necessarily, one is not necessarily better than the other. What you decide is irrelevant compared to why you decide, right? So make sure it's an expression of who you truly are, and it needs to, Pluto is in Aquarius now for the next 19 years, basically. It used to be in Capricorn, where we always try to check boxes and go with the head against the wall and things like that. But so it was a lot of resistance in the last, since 2008, basically. There needs to be joyful, loving creation in the next 19 years, starting now, basically. And it needs to be fun, right? It can't always be stressful and a lot of resistance. There needs to be, I say this again and again in all my pretty readings all the fucking time, joyful, loving creation. That's the Page of Cups, and you planted your seeds in this regard. It's time to take action on what you love to do. If you look outside, you're dreaming. If you look inside, you're awakening. That doesn't mean that you reject the outside world. That just means that you keep following your inner light. That you keep listening to your intuition, because your intuition will always tell you if you are in alignment with your inner Ace of Cups, with your inner guidance, with your highest version of yourself. If something feels off, it usually, if you strive, of course, to speak, your body, your entire being will let you know, but it will be very subtle. So you have to cultivate that ability to listen to your core, listen to your, not just your gut feelings, but your intuition, your subconsciousness. Especially when it comes to other people, and who do you allow into your inner circle. That is very important. Be very mindful about who you let in your inner circle. And meditation and breathwork, right? Meditation, meditation, meditation. That's how you keep that connection with your subconsciousness. You have a plan. Swords energy, you totally have a plan. Queen of Swords, you know what you want. You're very passionate about that, by the way, with the Ace of Wands here. You get your 10 of Pentacles if you execute your plan, but joyful. You have to enjoy that, what you do. There needs to be some sort of lightheartedness. There's a lot of focus and determination and willpower certainly with the Magician, but also with the Queen of Swords. But it needs to be fun, right? It's not just we're going from A to B and when I'm there, I'm happy. No, you need to be happy in between while you're doing it on a daily basis in the here and now. That is the secret. How you manifest this 7 of Pentacles into your 10 of Pentacles. Joyful, loving the creation on a freaking daily basis. So you need to have fun with it. It's not a project like in Pluto in Capricorn where we just said, okay, I'm enduring this, I'm going through the dark night of the soul, and I'm really, pushing myself, and in 5 years from now, I'm going to enjoy myself. No, you have to enjoy yourself on a freaking daily basis. Very, very important. Not losing the connection to your subconsciousness with all your wonderful plans, with all of your discernment, with all of your swords energy, meditation, breathwork. Never, never leave that out of your life, right? It's a daily freaking practice. And when it comes to other people, and I think this quote showed up in the Cancer reading as well, validate only what is valid when it comes to other people, but also when it comes to yourself, right? We all make mistakes. We all stray from our own paths that we chosen, right? We have all detours, so to speak. So be compassionate for other people, be compassionate for yourself, but validate only what is valid. Don't laugh about things that are actually, where you actually think, wait a minute, that was not okay. Don't laugh it off. Speak your truth. You don't need to be rude about it. And you need to be capable of, Hermit energy, go your own path and not make yourself so much dependent on the path or the lead of other people. And since you're coming from the Emperor and probably from some sort of dark night of the soul in the last 9 years, not everybody leaves your life as a loss. Some losses are blessings in disguise. Somebody needed to hear that. So one more quote. Okay, this wants to come out. Never lie. If you feel like lying, then you're with the wrong people. Never lie to yourself. Never never sugarcoat, right? Stuff. Never believe your own bullshit. Not that of other people, but also not your own bullshit. Always stay true to yourself. And again, the practice for that is meditation and breathwork. Because if you sit there for half an hour or an hour maybe and listening to yourself in silence, there are people who cannot stand themselves for 3 minutes. Sitting with themselves, no distractions, no noise, just you in a silent room, in silence, listening to yourself, just being with yourself. There are people who cannot do that. They go insane. Within 3 minutes, they just go nuts because they can't stand themselves. Don't be one of these people. Lizard spirit, dream your world into being. Well, it's a little more than just dreaming. You actually have to show up, execute your plan on a daily, frequent basis. Joyful love and creation. Don't make it too... It's not about discipline, although there is discipline in it. Joy. Joy is the secret. In Pluto in Aquarius, next 19 years. Joy is creating your 10 of Pentacles. That's all I got. I hope it resonates with you. Share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think about it. There's the yearly reading for 2026. Check that out. There is the reading for your sign of the zodiac, of course. You can also check out Sun, Moon, and Rising if you want a greater, bigger picture. And hopefully see you next time. Now, Badaya, my friend. Ciao.